Hey guys, in this video I'm going to tell you why I turned down over $300,000 this year and why that's so important for you when you're trying to figure out where and what to buy for your next investment property. Okay, so my name's PK and I help people achieve passive income through buying combination of growth and positive cash flow property without spending their weekends inspections, without spending months on realestate.com doing research, and without spending tens of thousands of dollars on buyer's agents. All right, so let's get into the topic for today. This year, I've literally said no to more than $300,000 of commissions. So what do I mean by this? It's because I have a bit of a group, a bit of people that subscribe to my videos, subscribe to my content, that almost every single week I have property development marketing companies that come to me and say, we have this new development in Maitlands, New South Wales, or we have this new development out past North Lakes in Brisbane, or in Springfield Lakes, Ripley, or Leichhardt in Ipswich, or southwest Melbourne out past Werribee. We have these new properties and we'd like to for you to talk about them with the people that follow you so that we can sell these properties. Now this is what is called property marketeering. Developers who have off the plan houses that they have to sell, and they're trying to sell them by attaching education at the front of them. And because I run an education program, these developers, almost every single week I get emails, I get Facebook direct messages on my YouTube, etc., saying that we will give you $25,000 per property that you can pitch to your followers, and if they buy $25,000 per property. Now, if I devote my education, if I devote these videos and content to why you should buy those particular types of properties, then I would have made $300,000 more than what I did this year. That is a fact. And I can do that very easily. Let me do it right now, in fact. It's so easy to market and pitch this stuff. All right, so let's take Western Brisbane out near Ripley, out near Springfield Lakes. Okay, so this is the marketing message that I would be spruiking. Okay, so this is a new master planned community. In the next 30 years, the population is going to migrate from Brisbane out towards Ipswich. It's going to become like a Parramatta in Queensland, the Parramatta equivalent, of Sydney. There's going to be a new hospital. There's going to be a new train line. There's schools dedicated to that. Now, the properties that we have, they are brand new, 7-year warranty with huge depreciation. So what this means is that you will be able to basically pay off your mortgage off your own home in 7 years, because the growth is anticipated to be huge. You'll be making huge positive cash flow because of huge depreciation. And these are brand new properties. There's a rental guarantee that we'll even throw in. Okay, 3 years of guaranteed rent, so you don't have to worry about a thing, and we'll take care of everything. We'll build it, turnkey solution. You just need to sign on this dotted line right now. Do you want to secure your family's future? Okay, this is the kind of thing that that has been working for 10-20 years in Australia. They spruik these properties and people buy them. Even people, after they've talked to me, after they've talked and understood the fundamentals of property investing, still they go to these spruikers because they're completely mesmerized. They're completely completely sold into that dream that they're selling, which is not going to be a reality. And here's the reason, 3 reasons why that reality won't happen. Let's talk about depreciation. Actually, there's more than 3, but I'm just going to do at least 3. Depreciation. Now, what they say is that you'll get $20,000 of tax back every single year because of the huge depreciation on these properties. The thing that they fail to mention is that this depreciation costs or amounts to naught if you lose your job. If there's no income, there's nothing to depreciate against. The second thing in relation to depreciation is all the depreciation you claimed, you have to give it right back to the taxman after you sell the property. So of course you might say, I will never sell that property, but how can you say that? Your life situation might change, that suburb might tank. There's so many reasons why you may need to sell that property. And if and when you do, every single dollar of depreciation benefit that you've realized through that journey, over those years, you have to pay back over and on top of capital gains tax. Okay, so depreciation is really not the bee's knees. So that's the first thing they talk about, positive cash flow because of depreciation, only because of depreciation. The second thing they talk about is population growth and how that will mean that capital growth will occur. Now, population growth has no correlation with capital growth. Brisbane had experienced the second highest population growth of all capital cities in the last 10 years, but houses only grew by 19%. In 10 years, Brisbane, the average house, only grew by 19%. I can go on and on about these statistics, but I'm just going to rest my case there, and units even worse. Okay? The other thing that they talk about, these spruikers, is that it's a new property. You know, why would you say no to a new property? It's under warranty, it's brand new, that it'll be so easy to get tenants. Here's the thing. A new property more often than not underperforms versus an established property. Now, when I say established, I don't mean something that's 50 years old, 10, 20, 30 years old, in good condition, tenantable, because it's land that appreciates and buildings that depreciate. So when you buy a brand new property, sure, it looks shiny, but you've mostly paid for the building. It's like buying a Mercedes-Benz off the dealership. As soon as you drive it out, it's depreciating, it's lost its value. The same thing happens in residential real estate. You're buying a brand new property, it's depreciating hard, and that means that you're always swimming against the current when it comes to capital growth. The land content, the land value is very small. Okay, the land content, the land value is very small. Don't confuse land value with land size. Okay, land value, 1 square meter in the middle of Sydney is worth way more than 100 square meters, 100 kilometers outside of the Sydney CBD. Okay, the land value is what's important, not land size. So in a brand new property, you've mostly paid for the building, and that's depreciating like a new car. And therefore, the capital growth is only occurring off a very small base, a very small land component. People don't understand this, right? And I don't blame them, because all the property marketeers are saying the opposite. All right, so that's the depreciation is one thing, population growth is the other marketing method, brand new is the other marketing method. They also say that because it's brand new, it's easy to get a tenant. Now, let me tell you, in Springfield Lakes and Ripley, other places, Pimpama, brand new, Omeo, Coomera, new estates there, it's really hard to find a tenant because almost every single property is an investment property. So there's so much competition between landlords to find a tenant, which means vacancy rates are high, which means rents don't rise, which means your positive cash flow, your passive income isn't actually increasing. So that's just, once again, just uncommon sense of why you shouldn't buy those types of properties. What else do they spruik? You'll pay your mortgage off in 7 years. Guys, you're not going to do that. If you look at the mathematics, if you look at how much it actually takes to pay off a $500,000-$600,000 mortgage, that's not going to happen by buying a brand new property in the outskirts of a Sydney, or of a CBD, or sorry, not a CBD, of a capital city. It just won't happen. If the property is $500,000, how's that going to pay off your mortgage of $500,000 and itself? You can't pay off both. That's simply not how the mathematics works. And if you ask these property marketeers to just go one level deeper, let's look at the spreadsheets, let's analyze the assumptions, you'll find that there are embedded some unreasonable expectations like 10% annual growth on a linear basis every single year for that property, or something preposterous like that, or that rents continue to rise at 20% per annum. You just have to get underneath the hood to completely disassemble and dismantle these promises. And really, honestly, this is what really, really, really ruins lives. the lives of young people, of young families wanting to get into property investment, but they buy this dud because they were promised the world without understanding how property works, without understanding property economics, and then they're left holding this thing for 5-10 years. It hasn't gone up in value, it's not paid their mortgage off, it's not given them a passive income. They've saved a few dollars in tax, but you could do that through any other strategy as well. And the last thing I'm going to say as well is valuation. Because these property marketeering companies are incentivized to sell you the property, they're not going to try to negotiate, nor are they going to give you, in many instances, the true valuation of that property. Okay, because they're going to say it's worth this and we're getting it for this, right? But really it wasn't worth that. And when it comes to actually settling the property, actually getting finance, actually getting the bank valuation done, in so many instances, the bank valuation comes at under what you had paid for it. And so then you need to fork out more deposit money, which you may or may not have. And if you don't have it, you have to do a fire sale, or you're in a world of problem. Okay, and I'm not just making this up. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of examples of these, and you'll know if you're the person that has been marketed to. All right, you'll know. I mean, you would have seen those claims: depreciation, pay your mortgage off in 7 years, brand new house and land package, growth corridor. That's, you know, one of the terminologies they use to fool people into thinking the capital growth is going to occur based on infrastructure and population growth. It seems right at the surface, absolutely, it seems right. But when you poke and prod, it just crumbles. Okay, so look, I can easily sell you guys this stuff, and I'll be probably making a whole lot more money than I do in this particular side of my business in education. But the fact is that really, really ruins lives. Okay, so if you're someone who's contemplating an off-the-plan apartment or a house and land package, just ask the person that's trying to sell you this, are you getting paid by the developer? And if they are, they're a property marketeer. All right, and if they're getting paid by a developer and you, then that's just ridiculous, because they're getting action on both sides. It's completely preposterous. And sometimes people say, but PK, they're actually doing it for free for me. In fact, they're giving me a selection of properties. How can I say no? It's completely free, and you know, all of these things, growth and passive income and depreciation, tax benefits, it's all lining up. Like, I'm hearing what you're saying, but it's too good for me to give up. All I want to say to you is, if you really care about your financial future in 5 or 10 years' time, then take the opportunity to educate yourself. Even if it's not in a formal sense, just do a Google search of off-the-plan apartments, do a Google search of property marketeers, go on forums like Property Chat, go on forums like my Facebook group, Australian Property Investment Mastery. Ask people questions. Before you give them any money, ask a million questions. You'll come to the conclusion that is really too good to be true. All right, guys. Well, hopefully that was useful. I know I was a bit strong-willed in that message, but hopefully that gives you a lot of value. But what do you think? Have you actually been approached, or have you seen an ad for one of these property marketeers? Tell me if you have. Comment right down below and tell me your experience. I'd love to know, and it will help others as well. It will help educate them. So my name's PK, and if you want to learn more about actually how to become educated, I have nothing to sell you apart from education, apart from something that actually works. It's not a get-rich-quick thing, right? It's just deep, precise education. If you want to learn more, I'll leave a link below, and you can check it out. You'll actually just become educated by watching the video there. All right, guys, well, have a great day. Catch you later. Bye.